Do you want to use Google Trends, a free tool to propel your SEO strategy farther than it's ever gone before? In this video, we're going to talk about what is Google Trends, how to identify SEO opportunities with Google Trends, and then some use cases including forecasting and projecting your performance using Google Trends. But first, if this is the type of content that you're interested in, do us both a favor and go ahead and like this video, smash that subscribe button, and toggle the notification bell so that you can stay up on all the latest tips, tricks, and trends for SEO and digital marketing. So let's go ahead and dive in. What exactly is Google Trends? Google Trends is an analysis tool that shows volume or interest of certain search queries over time, and yes, it's completely free. You can slice and dice the data found in Google Trends by 4 different components: geographic location, topic, time period, and the search surface. Now, unlike other third-party tools that project search volume based off of bot data and estimations, Google Trends uses samples from Google's actual search data. So how can you use Google Trends to identify SEO opportunities? Here are 4 primary examples of how you can propel your SEO strategy today using Google Trends. Number 1, let's go ahead and pair up a couple tools. In this case, you can use something like Keyword Planner from Google Ads or a tool like SEMrush, depending on what you have access to. Let's go ahead and grab a couple keyword ideas. In this case, let's go ahead and grab this keyword, spinal rehab, that has a large traffic percentage for us or for our competitor. You now take this keyword and go over to Keyword Planner in Google Ads and use it to help us identify new keywords. We can then sort or filter by volume to give us a rough idea of what ones we want to look at. And now we have a handful of keywords that we can use to compare and check the volume and trend over time. Let me show you what this looks like. So we're going to go ahead and grab these first 3 keywords. We're going to come over to Google Trends. You can just do a Google search for Google Trends, plug in the first keyword, and then hit enter. And then it will give you the option to add a comparison. So we've got all 3 of these keywords in here now, and this is for the past day. So you can kind of see how they compare in search volume or in trend to each other. Now let's go ahead and throw this out, say, all the way back to 2004. Now what we can do is look at how these have trended over time to give us a better indication of which keywords we want to target, as well as what might have been good to target but might be now on the up and up inside the trends. So you can see here, yellow, that spine and rehab keyword has high performance over time, but that red line there, spinal rehabilitation, has certainly been on the rise in the last year or so. You can do this for any number of keywords, whether they be branded or generic, that ultimately will give you considerable direction for your SEO strategy. Which brings us to the second process for identifying opportunity, and that's this Trending Now tab. You can come over here and look and see what is currently trending in Google search. This tool is so powerful, especially for off-page SEO and digital PR people, because now we can come in and identify topics that are trending to help us identify articles that we can build that will ultimately build backlinks for other people. In this case, we can dive into daily search trends, we can look at real-time search trends, and we can also parse down through different countries across the world. This tool can also help spark a ton of ideas. For example, as I scroll through this and I'm not seeing Taylor Swift, I immediately am curious about how she's trending. And I can dive into that data by time as well as by location. Which brings us to our third process of identifying opportunities using Google Trends, and that's the related topics and related query section. So once you pull the trends for a particular keyword or set of keywords, you can also come down here and look at related topics, which you can also filter or sort by rising versus top. And then of course you have related queries that you can also do the same thing. These can be great sources for identifying opportunities that may be short-term but have massive impact on your traffic. Which brings us to the fourth and final process that we'll talk about today for identifying opportunities in Google Trends, and that's using this categorical breakdown. So we can come over here and jump into arts and entertainment and look for celebrities and entertainment news, and really quickly see the interest in this category over time and dive into some of the search queries related to that industry. Let's do a couple example use cases of how you can do this for yourself. Let's throw in here a couple search terms that we know are being used on YouTube. Let's do how, what, when, and why. And then let's go ahead and filter this for YouTube search. And really quickly, we can start to see trend. This is only in the past 12 months of these 4 words used on YouTube. Let's go ahead and throw that out even further back to 2008. And we can really quickly see how these words have trended in queries on YouTube over time. which can give us some insight as to how to structure our YouTube videos. But also we can start to drill down by sub-region to see what is happening across particular states in the US. Alternatively, we can go ahead and switch from YouTube search to Google News search and see how that dynamic changes. Where how was high for YouTube, we're seeing a lot more of why and what on Google News. Now let's take this a little bit further. Let's go ahead and search for a term that potentially makes up a large portion of traffic share for either our site or a competitor site. In this case, we'll use a branded term. We'll use Nike. And what we can do is throw that all the way back to the beginning of the data set to help us create a forecast or projected performance for the foreseeable future. For example, we can come up here and hit export into the CSV. Now what we're going to get is a list of rows that contain the date and an arbitrary number between 1 and 100 is representative of interest in relation to the other dates. We can then throw that into a line chart to identify a slope and use that slope as a multiplier for something like sessions for your website. And things can get a little technical here, but suffice it to say, you could marry that to a calculation of historical seasonality as well as current trend to continue to hone in your accuracy of your projected forecast. Really, the primary reason that we talk about forecasting as an opportunity for Google Trends is because now we have something to compare our existing performance to, and we can start to ask more pertinent questions about why we are over or underperforming. It allows us to get very specific and very laser focused on opportunities that we need to capitalize on to continue to grow. If you're interested in learning more about forecasting, about SEO, digital marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel as we are putting out videos every week on these tips and tricks. This is Quinn with RunLeadGen, and we'll see you next time.